Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is part four of my life, my story, my truth. Again, I will not say last names, only first names. And remember, this is my content of my truth, my my only truth, and the way I know my life story. Everyone else can have their own opinion. That's your truth. But today we're going to start with part four. Where I left off at part three is I started dating. That's right. This was, I would say, about 3 months after I left my ex husband. I can call him my ex now because we're not living together. Um, he was starting doing good things by coming and doing the right thing, picking up his son on the weekends and stuff like that. That was good. He got better at that, and I was grateful. I don't know how he found out I was dating, but I figured it out. So here we go. I'm going to tell my truth, okay? Because I know what I've seen and I know what happened to me, okay? So, this particular day, the kids were at the babysitter, and I knew once I picked them up this Friday, they'll be going with their dads. My daughter, her father started becoming more involved in her life. I was grateful for that. So now I will have on Friday nights until Sunday. Both of my kids will go with their fathers, and I will have free time on Saturdays and half of Sundays. Yay! I was like, well, this is my time now for me. During the week, I would do what I got to do, my daily routines, take care of my kids. But the weekends, when they go with their fathers, I will, I will pretty much be free to do whatever I want. So my weekends kind of got a little boring because I was so used to being with my kids, and I was like, I don't have nothing to do. But anyway, as time went on, I remember my manager told me, Bridget, the job right now, we're going to be moving the times to second shift, not first shift anymore. I said, really? She said, yeah, we're going to be doing this now from, what she said, from 5 o'clock to like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. But you still will get paid your same pay. You still will get your benefits. But unfortunately, we got to do second shift. We're not going to do first shift anymore. And I said, I know you guys are progressing. This is a new business, and you're doing what's best. I said, but I have to talk to my babysitter because I'm not sure if she will keep them that time of the day. I have to find out. I'm not going to say I'm leaving. She said, no, just let me know. We're going to kind of work around your schedule right now. Just let me know. I'm just letting you know. We're going to be moving forward to into second shift. I said, okay. Because at that time, that's when the internet started. So now a lot of stuff that you can do online. The phones were getting better, the cell phones and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So I talked to my babysitter. She said, yes, Bridget, of course. I stay home all day. I don't do anything. She says, it's just me, my granddaughter, and my husband. My husband's retired. And sure, she said, only thing I will tell you, if you get into any traffic or something happens with your job and you can't get the kids by 10 o'clock at night, you need to come and pick them up like at least 5 o'clock in the morning when I get up and make my husband his breakfast. I said, okay, because um, if I can't get back by 11, you're saying to call you in advance and just come and get them at 5 in the morning. She said, yes, that's the deal we're going to make. You can't get to me at that time. I said, that's great because if I can't get to you at that time, I do not want to break my kids' sleep. They still have to go to school. Um, My son, he was in pre-K. Now he turned like going on 4, going into 5, so he was going into pre-K. So that helped a little bit. Um, when it came to my babysitter, I will say she was really, really grateful. I'm so grateful for her. I didn't know what to do. So I called my manager back and I said, that's okay. My babysitter said she'll work around my schedule with that. And she's like, Bridget, I'm gonna give you a raise too because you doing all this stuff and we trying to get this business stuff together and everything, and I really appreciate that. I was like, for real? She said, yes, you're getting a raise, but I'm going to give it to you next week. It'll be in your next following paycheck. I said, that's wonderful. So she said, yeah. She said, just stick in with us. Don't give up. Because I'm telling you, the business is going great. She said her stock market was doing great, everything. I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I can't afford to go nowhere. She's like, okay. So anyway, now I already told you guys on the weekends I'm bored. It's just me because the kids are gone. So the internet was becoming very popular. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on Yahoo. I don't know if you guys remember Yahoo used to have Yahoo Messenger back in the day where you can actually do live video with people. You can go in chat rooms and live talk and it was all kinds of Yahoo used to be nice. They used to have MySpace and stuff like that where you can do your little profile, put your stuff up there. Well, make a long story short, on Yahoo Messenger, they came out with this Yahoo Singles. And I said, oh, this is nice and it's new. I said, I'm going to make me a little profile. And I made me a little profile and I put up there. Now, the clause with back in the day when you was on Yahoo Singles, if you did meet someone or chat with them through Yahoo, you can do it, but it did cost. You did have to pay for it. And I was like, I ain't paying for no, I'm not paying for no, pretty much a dating site. I'm not paying for that. But they allow you to communicate with that person one on one through the internet web where you can see each other and talk to each other. They allowed you to do that for free for the first time. So I said, you know what? I already know I'm not getting into no relationship. I just got out of one. I'm not interested in no relationship. I'm not interested in nothing serious. This is just gonna be for fun. Yes. And honey, I had fun. But anyway, I remember putting up my profile and I came home one night and I was like, I got some little messages. And I remember this is one particular guy. His name was Andre. He said, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, but I'm a police officer. And I wanted to make sure you feel safe talking to me, but I'm very interested in getting to know you. I said, a police officer. I said, well, maybe let me see what he wants. Because he contacted me on the messenger and I just put my little profile out there. So we connect. We did the video chat. I was like, oh, he is kind of cute. He was very well mannered. And you know me, I'm thinking like, is this just a put on? Well, I don't know, because people be putting on stuff or acting a certain way. I don't know. But I was like, okay. But he's a police officer, and he was like, yeah, I'm a police officer. And we had a great conversation. It was so nice. And he was like, I really would like to meet you. I really would. He said, you know what? I work over there in PG County. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I work in Glen Arden, Maryland. I said, you do? I said, wow, I go through, I said, I don't go into Glen Arden, but I bypass it to take my kids to the babysitter. And sometime I'm over there picking up my kids at 10 o'clock at night. He's like, well, that'll work out. So that means you can just stop by. He said, I work, that's the time I be working. I said, "Oh, you work around that time?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But I actually start a little earlier than that. I start like around 7." He said, "But my shift ain't over till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I tell you what. When I do get off a little early sometimes, and I get around that area like around about 8 or 9, I'm waiting for my kids. So I said maybe we can hook up like that." He was like, "Yeah, just let me know when you get off early or whatever." So make a long story short with him, Andre, police officer from Glenarden, Maryland. He's actually from Baltimore. He lives in Baltimore, but he worked in Prince George's County. Um, At times, yes, when I would get off work a little, maybe extra 30 minutes early, yes, I would go over there and see him. And yes, I would be right there at the little, I think that's their courthouse or whatever it is. But yes, we would do our little thing and lovey dovey and all that. Or sometime I'll go to his house. He had a little like apartment that he would just go to if he can't get back to Baltimore. So yes, I would go there and stay with him and chat and we'd have fun. Lots of fun. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'll never forget this particular time I was leaving. My babysitter said, Bridget, you don't have to come tonight. You can go ahead, girl, and do you have a blast. You ain't got to do that much because I want to take the kids somewhere with me tomorrow. And I was like, for real. So told Andre, I'm going to come over there and stay with you for the night. And he was like, okay, that's cool. He said, I'm going to make sure I don't have to work tonight. I said, okay. So it worked out, and I stayed over there. I remember the sun was coming up, and I was like, I need to go home because I don't have no clothes. I'm not staying. He's like, no, you can come here anytime you want to. I said, thank you, Andre, but really, I need to go home. And I remember as he was walking me to my car, I'm looking at my car, and I'm like, what is wrong with my car? And he was like, yeah, what's up with your car? I said, I don't know, but it looks like all the tires are flat. He's like, hold up, let me check this out. He walked around. He's like, yeah, somebody flat. He said, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get the building security. They don't come until 8 o'clock though, and see if they can see who did it. I said, oh my God, I'm glad I have some time off today. I was like, but still, I got stuff to do. And he was like, nah, go. You know what? Leave your car here. I said, well, I have AAA. I'll just call AAA to come out here. And he said, no, it looked like somebody just let the air out the tires. They didn't. I don't see anything cut or anything. He said they just let the air out of it. He said, I don't know who would do that, but I'm gonna find out who. I said, okay. He said, well, look, Bridget, take my car, go do what you got to do, and just come back tonight. I was like, okay. So I called AAA. They knew to come out there and put air in my tires or whatever they got to do. And I took his car and I left. He called me back that evening. I said, I don't think I'm going to come back tonight. I need to come back tomorrow because that's when I'm going to come and get my kids. I really need to do what I got to do today. He was like, no, do what you got to do, but I just want to let you know that building security said it's a dark-skinned guy, short hair. He said he said he weighed like maybe a 170 or something like that. It's like he said he looked like he African a little bit. Do you know who that may be? I said, Lord Jesus. I said, that's my ex. He's like, what? He started laughing. I said, how the hell he find where I'm at? I said, because we on because me and him talk about everything. He's like, oh, I guess he's stalking you. He said, you want me to do something about it? I said, no, that's my son's father. Just leave it alone. I said, I got to catch him in the act, though. He said, well, I got it right here on video. I said, no, Andre, leave it alone. I'm going to talk to him about it. He said, okay. So, make a long story short, we're going to move on a little faster. This particular weekend, he came to get my son. And I had to talk to him about. He denied the whole thing. He don't know what I'm talking about. You got the wrong person. What do you mean? Why would I flatten your tires? I said, okay, it's all good. I'm not, because I already know how he is. I'm not going to argue with him. Plus, I'm living a happy ass life. I ain't worried about it. So, this particular weekend, he came to get him. And he said, so, you going to be here Sunday? I said, yeah, I'm going to be here. He said, so what you doing tomorrow? He came to get Cedric. And I said, I don't know. Why? He's like, I just want to know, just in case I need to bring him back early. I said, well, there's no need to bring him back early because if I decide to do something, I might not be here. He was like, all right. So he left with Cedric. And I said, well, let me figure out what I'm going to do this weekend. So, of course, I'm getting back on Yahoo or Messenger or whatever. And I remember I get this message and it says Greg. I said, Greg? But the message was on it like for like a week and a half. I was like, why I didn't see this? I didn't see this, so I'm looking at it. I was like, you know what? I remember seeing this man like a couple of times. He would pass by me and say hi. I was like, So I opened up the message and it said, "Hi, my name is Greg. Um, I remember seeing you a couple of times in Prince George's County, and I see you here on Yahoo, and I am as well. And I would love to get to know you. Please allow me to get to know you." And I was like, "Lord, I don't need to be." I said, "You know what? Me and Andre, we are just seeing each other. I'm not getting into nothing serious with nobody." So I was like, "Let me talk to this guy. Let me see what's going on." I was like, "Okay." So we end up talking on the Yahoo Messenger and did video chat. I was like, "Oh wow, now this my kind of man right here." And I mean, he was so like really cool about everything. I mean, it was just like, wow. Andre was just a straight shooter. He just wanted straight shoot to the. That's it. And I didn't care because that's pretty much what I was living anyway. Just straight shoot. We have fun and I'm gone. So, but this one was more interested in getting to know me. And he was like, "Yeah, I would love to take you out to dinner." I said, "Okay, maybe." I said, "This one, he not gonna just. It's just not gonna be that easy." So I said, "Okay." But anyway, make a long story short, I already told you only can chat one time for free. After that, you have to pay for it, and I'm not paying for anything. So he gave me his phone number, and we just start communicating on the phone. Um, and okay, at this time, I kind of like really was into Greg, starting to be into him. So I kind of pushed like Andre a little bit to the curb, but not much to the curb. I mean, I'll see him every now and then. Cause like I said, we ain't in no relationship. I don't owe nobody no explanation. I am single. So I was really feeling Greg. I was like, this man is the ultimate what you call a real man. He wasn't interested in sexing me. He wasn't interested in nothing but getting to know me for me. And I said, "Oh my God, I love it. I love it." And he would take me to the very nice, great places. So I said, I might, I might give this one a little chance, but I'm not gonna move too quickly because I want to see how things are gonna go. I still got it's what going into now. What about a year of me leaving my husband, my ex-husband? So it's like, look, I'm taking my time. I'm not in no rush, and he knew that. I was like, I ain't in no rush for that. He was like, it's all, and plus not that, just that. A very, very, I think third date, and we were out. My heart dropped. He said, "Bridget, you never asked me what I do for a living." I said, "Well, we don't live together. What I need to ask you what you do? Don't you pay your bills? I know you got a job." He was like, he said, "Look, I just been waiting for you to ask me what I do for a living." I said, "Well, what do you do for a living?" He said, "I just want to let you know I'm a police officer." I said, "Oh Lord." He was like, "I'm a detective for Prince George's County." I was like, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, yeah, but I just want to let you know what I do, because I don't want you, be aware." I said, "Okay, okay." I said, "Well, how long you been a detective?" He said, "I've been a detective for about 15 years." I said, "Well, that's nice." I said, "I know you talked about you have kids and stuff and everything. How is that going?" He's like, "It's going great. I got a great life. I'm just looking for that woman. I'm no rush. You're not in no rush. We just gonna see how things go." So that's how we kicked it. We wanted to see how things go. It wasn't about, oh, we seeing each other now, we're in a relationship. No, that's what you don't do. You date so you can see how things go. And I was very upfront about my ex. I was very upfront about him because he needed to know I don't put up with that. That's why I left. But to make a long story, I never forget this particular day I came home. And I was with my kids. Yeah, I had left work, got my kids from the babysitter, and came home. And got up in the morning to take them to school. And when I walked to my car, I couldn't believe it again. My tires were flat. I'm standing here like with the kids, and I'm like, why he keep doing this? Why does he keep flattening my tires? I have gave you a free life. You can do whatever you want. Why are you doing it? And see, he knew he could do that because he got to get caught in the act. See, the police are not going to do anything unless you're caught in the act. So I end up calling the police, and they came. They was like, "Ma'am, did anyone see it, or you have any witnesses?" I was like, "No, but I know it's my ex-husband. I know it is. Ain't nobody but him." And they was like, "Well, we can't do nothing, ma'am. Just call AAA." And I was like, "Oh my God, just messed up my whole day." So I literally had to walk like 2 blocks, long blocks, to take my kids to school and walk back because they had to go to school. But we just walked. They wanted to walk anyway, so I said, "I'm gonna just go ahead and walk." And I said I got home. I called AAA, waiting for them. They just put the air back in the tires. They was like, "Man, well, you always have a lot of." I said, "I know. It's my ex," and they just started laughing. But anyway, I'm gonna hold this video. This is part 4. I'm gonna come back with part 5. Okay, of my life story, my truth. I'll see you in a little bit, you guys. If you have not started from part 1, please start from part 1 so everything else will make sense. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.